Hey, I'm Bob Murray, and we're out at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Outdoor Show here at Oaks, Pennsylvania. And it's unbelievable how you interview guests, but you're part of Delaware Valley Outdoors, but you are my next guest. I'm here with Steve Horvath, part of Delaware Valley Outdoors. And part of the new thing that you're bringing up, Steve, you're going to be guiding hunting and fishing this year, right?
Yeah, I've kind of made a career change here, and I'm going to be guiding duck hunters and goose hunters down the shore, central Jersey area, and also going to be doing back bay fishing trips in the summer for flounder.
And I can attest to the back bay fishing, flounder fishing, because it is super, super easy, fun, and just relaxing.
Yeah, you know what, Bob? It's an easy trip. A family can do it. We're never more than 10 minutes from a bathroom. If somebody needs a potty break or if somebody gets hot or whatever, you're near parking lots, you're near your car, you're near places to eat, and the fishing is really, really good.
It is, and the numbers of fish. I mean, New Jersey keeps changing the size limit, but the quantity of fish you can catch is just amazing.
Most days you can pretty much count on catching 50 for the trip for however 3-4 people, however many I take.
And it's not that difficult. I mean, you supply the gear and stuff like that, or if they want to bring their own, but it's very simple fishing. It's not very complicated.
We use very simple tackle. We use light freshwater tackle. The fish fight very good. The best time for more and bigger keepers is generally the month of June into early July. Because these fish are back bay fish, they get picked over. You know, there's more keepers at the beginning of the season than the end of the season, but there are more fish in the later part of the season. If a person wanted to go and honestly stand a chance of 3 people catching 150 flounder a day, the month of August is tough to beat.
and again, what you said, most people are thinking of flounder fishing as like really heavy tackle, very light tackle, almost trout rods. I mean, that's what we've used in the past. And boy, the action on that is just something else.
Yeah, we actually do use trout rods for our own fun fishing. And the thing is, you don't always catch a bunch of keepers. There's days where I've caught 100 without a keeper, but there's days where we catch 50 and catch 10 keepers.
Right.
And some of those keepers, you caught one almost 7 pounds with me.
Yes, I did, and I was just amazed that I caught it on an interesting way to fish. Steve, tell our listeners just a little bit about how difficult it is to catch these fish with no bait.
First of all, you don't need bait to catch a flounder. I know that a lot of people have been fishing for years, and bait is a common thing. And until last year, I still took bait as a little crutch. And if you want me to, I will bring bait with me. But we don't need it.
No, and that's the cool thing, because I mean, you can get your spearing and all the other stuff that
sure.
You know, if they feel comfortable, obviously.
Take out your insurance policy, go ahead, but at the end of the day, it'll be in my cooler where I can freeze it for the next trip.
And that is a really cool thing. Very simple, top and bottom hooks.
Right.
And not a lot of technique. It's just
set it down to the bottom, maintain bottom contact, and just keep shaking, little 6-inch shakes.
And you'll catch some other kind of fish there too, right?
Sure. Now and then we catch some sea robins. My son caught an amberjack 2 years ago. That pulled us all over the river for a while. But, you know, there are a few other fish. You catch a starfish now and then. You dry it out on the boat, take it home with you. All in all, it's a good family fun trip.
And I do have to emphasize this. I've been with Steve a number of times down there, just pleasure fishing and also doing TV shows. But you're never outside of land. I mean, you got a sight, so if you're afraid of getting seasick or anything like that, it's not going to happen. I mean, you are right there. Literally, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we're back at the dock. So, you know, if you have any needs, you're right there. And they have also kind of food stuff there that if you after you did the day fishing,
right.
You can stop there.
There's a small little shop there, and there's times when we stop 100 feet from the marine and start fishing.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, let's jump ship here, and let's go to. I know it's one of your dear loves, and that's duck hunting.
Yeah, Bob, I've been duck hunting down the shore since the late 70s, actually mid-70s. I'm dating myself here. Some of my earliest hunting memories are of duck hunting in the Barnegat Bay area, and it's a great area to hunt. One of the nice things I like is there's a variety of different ducks down there. We do what I call a mixed bag hunt. In the same day, we'll see puddle ducks like black ducks and mallards, sometimes teal, sometimes some other species. But we also encounter diver ducks like puddle ducks, bluebills or broadbills. We shoot geese, Atlantic brant, stuff like that. And the other thing is I can kind of tailor a hunt that if somebody really wants to get a brant, we'll move to an area where there should be brant, but yet you still have a shot at the puddle ducks and divers. I try to tell people that on an average day, you'll get the opportunity to quote, pull the trigger or the opportunity to harvest between 6 and 10 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tight window there you have sometimes to get into those ducks, but then again, you go out into the ocean too.
The sea duck hunts I do are, to put it into words, epic at times. We see a lot of sea ducks. I tell my customers, bring 2 boxes of shells per day that you're going to hunt with me. You will probably use most of them. It's not uncommon for a person to shoot 10 feet behind a sea duck that's well in range.
Because it's just...
They fly so fast and they're so tough. And they're such beautiful birds. In the way of sea ducks, we harvest all 3 types of scoters. Your common scoter, your surf scoter, your white-winged scoter, which is quite difficult to harvest. There's not a lot of them, but we do pretty good with them. We harvest typically anywhere between a half dozen and a dozen eiders per year. You know, if you really want to shoot an eider, maybe you need to go to Massachusetts. But for an outside shot of one, we harvest them, and we shoot a lot of old school, which are very nice ducks.
Again, all of these names, I mean, there's a vast variety of duck types that you can really harvest down there.
A bad day would be 3 different species of ducks, either in sea ducks or in other waterfowl in the mixed bag hunts. Typically, you know, you may have 4 or 5 different species of waterfowl that you harvest in a day.
Okay, I'm going to go duck hunting. What do I need to bring with me when I go out with you?
Well, probably the most important thing would be your hunting license.
Which happens to have,
right.
Well, I didn't know I needed a license.
New Jersey has not only full year licenses, but I believe they have a 3-day license. Mm-hmm. You also need a state duck stamp. You need a federal duck stamp and a HIP, which is a harvest information something or other number, and that's how they track the number of duck hunters.
Oh, okay, I understand.
I highly recommend you bring waders with you. Number one, there's always some water in the boat. We're dealing with water. Your feet will stay dry. Number 2 is I encourage people to take part in putting out the decoys, bringing the decoys back. I try to make sure that I hunt in areas that it's semi-easy to wade or very easy to wade. So people aren't tripping, they're not falling, they're not getting wet. Most of the time the water is much shallower than waist deep when we do the mixed bag hunts. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, you know, we have to pull anchor. We're pulling decoys with the sea duck hunting, and people get wet. Mm-hmm. If you don't have waders, it's no big deal. You can still come. Mm-hmm. Camouflage clothing, no alcohol, no illegal drugs. If you need to take high blood pressure medicine, please bring it. You know, use it. Yeah. My blood pressure goes up when the ducks start coming in. I recommend a 12-gauge shotgun, either 2 3/4, 3-inch, or 3.5-inch. Generally, number 2, number 1, or size BB shot.
Right now, we've just gone all through that, but if somebody really wanted it, obviously contact you, and then you would go sit down or talk to them over the phone or over the internet and get all that laid out for them. Steve, we have a great picture here. Is that your lawn, or what is that right there?
Well, that's a duck boat. That is actually a 16-foot, very wide, very deep V-bottom boat that's completely grassed over. And as you can see, it doesn't look much different from the background.
No, it doesn't.
And that is the vehicle, quote, that we use for most of our hunts. It's comfortable, swivel seats. You know, the floor's done up. You bring a cooler lunch with you. We have life vests, all the safety equipment, and it's a very safe hunt.
Look, if you're interested, obviously go to your website, Steve. What is it now?
Tidewaterguide.com.
Tidewaterguide.com. And again, you can always go to Delaware Valley Outdoors and ask us that question, and we'll kick you right over to Steve anyway.
Absolutely.
it's going to be good. I'm really excited about it. I know you've worked hard and learned a lot that you can partake and give it to other people. And I think that it's a well worthwhile thing. If you're just starting to get into ducks, this is one of the best things that I could recommend is go out with a competent guide. You'll have a good time. It's enjoyable, and you'll learn, and then you want to do more of it.
And that's important what you said, Bob, about learning. I am willing to take you out there and teach you, and someday you can do it yourself.
All right, Stevie. Hey, look, any more information, go to Steve's website,
TidewaterGuide.com.
and you can go to Delaware Valleys. Hey, I'm Bob Murray, and a couple of things quick. We're going to have our outstanding award here in a little bit, Stevie. Time's a clicking.
It's close. I mean, it's single-digit votes separate first, second, and third.
All righty. Hey, I'm Bob Murray. We're out at the Oaks. Keep listening.